Greetings. Elder Blacklight. Talking about the real world versus this artificial world. That's part of the technology that is played on not only the original man of the planet Earth, but mankind, the Caucasoid. Check this out right here.
You should remember that black could not have been behind white because it's just impossible to take white out of black. But you can take white out of black, but not black out of white. This makes you be the first, regardless of what people say. You are the first, because we can't make this our color from white. No, sir. It has been experimented many times by the enemy to see if he could not claim first too, or equal as first. But he can't do it. It's impossible.
Now, that's going to the root. That's going to the root right there. And by the enemy scientists knowing this and knowing our history, knowing who we are, they had to come up with a scheme to they had to come up with a scheme to take away our consciousness or condition our consciousness or condition our minds. And once they did that, because they was taught trigonometry, and which is psychology really. They was taught this by some of our scientists like Yakub and Moses. So again, I want to introduce to you the different stages of their trigonometry. And because once they physically conquered us, they mentally conquered us. But they had to make their own people believe what they wanted us to believe, if you follow what I mean. This is their world. This represents their world, the Constitution of the United States, which is an extension of Europe, an extension of Britain. This is a book issued to my mother back in 1947 of a donation book, Michigan #1 Lost Foundation of Islam, which represents our world, our new world. Our new world was brought by the Mahdi, Master Farad Muhammad, who came in the person, Allah came in the person came in his person. And back in 1947, I was 1 year. I was one. But she was attending meetings when she was pregnant with me. And that stayed with me throughout the years, even though at times my mother left the nation of Islam. I was at the age 7, she told me. 7, that number right there is deep. We're going to get into that later. So we're going to get back to these redemption papers that the militia, the white militia was giving out to its people. This is the day why you got on YouTube, you see police stops because they're in a civil war. They're still in that civil war. And the police give a little more leeway to when they stop the Caucasian, stop and detain them, knowing their papers, because they want to see who they down with. They want to see if they with the militia, and whoever they with, because the militia represents the South. Texas want to be a state of its or country of its own. So the people as a whole have never objected to the government operating as a corporation in commerce. This, according to their legal definition, validates the presumption that we accept the corporation of the United States as the government of the United States. The black man really don't have no dog in that fight right there. Because of the Dred Scott decision. Later on, they said it was overturned during the death after the death of Dred Scott, about can't no black man be a citizen. Never be a citizen. But if that's the case, then where does it enter at in the Constitution? You see what I'm saying? So that Abraham Lincoln, made an amendment, 13th and 14th, but that amendment is not clear. So that's where you got brothers attacking the amendment on reparations. Now this is what I want to say before time drifts away on this video right here. You got to attack on all fronts. Now the Moors, they have some well-studied, I might as well call them lawyers, but they lawyers of the Moors, See, the Moors, they don't want us to be called black. Well, Moors, it don't matter what we call ourselves because we created all this. And I don't care what the Caucasian thinks. You don't have no authority to dictate nothing. And we ain't got to file no papers, man, with them. But a statement, our statement should validate us as a separate, independent people. with our own built-in government. Because, you know, you got a lot of brothers out here, they say they Hebrew Israelites. You got a lot of brothers, they want to be black conscious, and but they still classify themselves as Christians, just like Marcus Garvey. Marcus Garvey, you know, he never did say, he said he was a Christian, you know. You got the Rastas, you know, I don't know, I think they might say they Christians too, you know, because you got the Coptic religion. Now we got all these different black conscious brothers with different titles. So we can't be fighting each other over what they call themselves, because you got the European nations collaborating with one another, the European Union, and they under different titles, Germany, France, or whatever, but they Anglo-Saxons, you know, and so-called Jews, you know, but they, you know, working with one another. But then you got Americans trying to be independent from all of them, you know, the American Caucasian. So they fighting each other. They divided. Now let us not be divided, because they are divided, and that's a weak link. Because they fighting too many wars. They can't fight all the wars. They fighting all overseas, fighting us too. You know, fighting each other. And the only one we got to fight is the Caucasian. We ain't got to fight each other. Now we're going to continue with this, you know, next time. But, you know, listen carefully and see, don't it make a little sense. Black light.